Namaste, Jai Bharat. In general, the people of Bharat are very proud and happy about certain characteristics of Bharatiya society, and one of them is the secular nature. One of them is secular nature of Bharat. What kind of secularism you find in Bharat? It is equal respect to everyone's faith. We are not that really concerned of religion per se, but we are definitely culturally concerned about the faith system of everyone. Actually, it is natural for the Hindus to respect other faith. I repeat, in capital letters, it is natural and it is by default that the Hindus respect other faiths no matter how multiple they are, how many they are, how variant they are. Because fundamentally, you know the reason, fundamentally, you see the Hindu Dharma, we already have multiple faith systems. We already have multiple faith systems. So it's natural for all of us. When I say Hindu, I include Jains, Bauds, Sikhs. But they all are in the same line of tradition. No matter however anyone tries to say these things are different, but they are not different, they are varieties, variations. The Hindu Dharma, the Sanatana Dharma itself has got many variations within it, and all variations are respectable to us. We accept somebody's faith because it is one person's faith. That is a foundation of fundamentals of secularism which we talk today. It's not really a Bharatiya concept. It's a European way of looking at things, and we just borrow the terminology. But what we do practice is entirely different from the European kind of secularism. Our kind of respect to multiple faith system is inherent in us. It's natural with us. And when you say spontaneous is beautiful, this is spontaneous. This is spontaneous. A Bharatiya need not to take any effort to respect somebody's faith. He need not to take any effort to respect someone's faith, because respecting somebody's faith and attitude and patterns of existence comes naturally to us. This is an important difference with others, and this is an important aspect of Bharatiya Sanskriti. Now, why we generally people are very proudly speaking of Bharatiya secularism, especially in the academic world. We are secular. Yes, why we are secular? And why we are so easily secular? Why we are so naturally secular? Don't just forget that we are easily and naturally and spontaneously secular because we are Hindus, fundamentally. I mean, we are Hindus by virtue of Sanskriti, not by virtue of faith system alone. So that's what makes a Christian a Hindu and a Muslim also a Hindu, by virtue of Sanskriti. So the qualities, the inclusiveness of Bharatiya Sanskriti is originally coming from the Veda Upanishadic knowledge tradition, which of course is exhibited through the operation of Hindu Dharma. So being Hindu is what really makes you what you are. That is important. Now, all this world politics that is going around us, who are many of them are with the agenda of Islamization. They don't know the mistakes they are committing. They don't know that how self-destructive they are up to. Bangladesh is almost finished in spite of whosoever is ruling. Nothing is going to take place in Bangladesh for a long time until the democracy is re-established and the Awami League Party or someone similar comes back to power, which will take time. May not even take time, we don't know. Such things, and look at Pakistan. fundamentally the same people. Fundamentally the same people. But they started becoming different when they started accepting the madrasa teaching even before partition. I used to do a lot of talk about separatist intellectuals who went into lot of thought system in creation of Pakistan. From Syed Ahmad Khan to onwards, many people have talked about, discussed about. Still, people are to be talked. Maybe when I have time, I'll go into that. So, these separatist elements it started operating within our own people even before partition through Islam. Many of them treated Islam as exclusive at that time itself, while in Bharat itself, many of them. And such people have eventually landed up in Pakistan with the partition. It's partition, not really division, with partition. And then post-partition period, look at the Pakistani society, what happened. They have, I don't know, you just, how to speak, how can their society go back in time so miserably and so desperately? That is an intellectual retardation, intellectually going back to the ways of unknown people. Now the dilemma, I'm talking about Pakistani society in particular, which is equally applicable to the Bangladeshis. The dilemma with the Pakistanis are, they are somehow taught through their madrasas over all these years that you are uniquely Muslim. That's a very, very vague expression. You are uniquely Muslims. There is no other Muslim like you. You are the best Muslims and you are the best people, therefore. This kind of teaching goes, fundamentally, I'm telling roughly, this kind of teaching goes through the madrasas. And when you ready a generation through such education, such teachings, they will become semblance of mistakes. Very foolish, not really foolish, but they become semblance of mistake. And now they start thinking that they are Muslims, so they should be like archetype Muslims. They are better Muslims, and they after going to the Gulf, going to UAE, Saudi Arabia, etc. The Pakistani laborers, people go to these places to work, and there also they use Islam. They will bring Islam everywhere, and they start thinking these people are not good Muslims. You know who? The Arabs. These people think, Pakistanis do think, that the Arabs are not really appropriate Muslims. We are appropriate Muslims. Who? The former Hindus. The former Hindus who changed their religion under coercions or under difficult circumstances. Certainly not voluntarily. People say that many people have become voluntarily Muslims. There must have been some few, but definitely they are much less in number. These descendants of Hindu who had become Muslims yesterday wanted to say they are much better than the Arab Muslims. They believe so, know what to do. It's not only they say that. They say that because they believe so. No, this is one thing, and this is the only thing which leads Pakistan. And then all other things are in front of you. They have less understanding with one another. They resort to everything for making living. They don't do work. They speak of a lot of imandari, but there is no imandari. They speak a lot of iman, but there is hardly any iman. Manmani is not imandari. Actually, it's manmani, not imandari. What they do, for to everyone their own convenience, and to every Pakistani, Islam is unique to himself. All others are lesser Muslims. This is the result of the kind of teachings done in the madrasa system. You teach them you are the best, that will end up in saying that I am the best. Others are not. Whatever is convenient to me is the right thing and that's the best thing. This is a situation that happened in Pakistan. And those who live in Bharat should fundamentally understand one thing. If this attitude is brought to Bharat, it's not going to work because it is still a Hindu majority nation. The secularism, the liberal thoughts, the friendliness, the all-inclusiveness, the acceptance, the comfort, everything you find in Bharat is only because Bharat is basically Hindu majority and in all likelihood shall continue to be Hindu majority. Our bad days are gone, I suppose. The Mughals were ruling different parts of Bharat very powerfully, and then the British also ruled majority of Bharat. Both they tried to destroy Hinduism in their own ways and manner. There in history, you can look at it. If you look at an appropriate history book, they tried their best to destroy Hindu Dharma in whichever manner they could. In spite of that, if Bharat still continues to be strongly Hindu Dharma, then it's really Sanatana. Then it's not going to simply get over. The hopes and aspirations of getting rid of the Hindu Dharma is rather unrealistic given the past history. If some new changes may come tomorrow, I don't know. But as the case stands, it's difficult. It's not likely that Bharat will cease to be Hindu majority. Now, whatever you are claiming, whatever advantage you are claiming of being Bharatiya is solely because it's a Hindu nation, it's a Hindu Dharma. And we say that everyone is Hindu. The two dimensions of Hindu Dharma I told you: Sanskriti, faith system. Faith system doesn't affect the Hindus themselves because we already have multiple faith systems. But the Sanskriti affects the Hindus. The same Sanskriti also affects the Christians and Muslims. Many people, religious leaders, realize this and talk to their people in such manner, but many don't understand this and spread hatred. The very concept of kafir shall become self-destructive to Muslims, because you yourself are a kafir in front of some other type of Muslims. You would wish to call even other Muslims kafirs, and you do call even other Muslims kafirs. Such sectoral differences are there, such sects are there, and the differences are much more serious, to the extent that one calls the other kafir. So every other person becomes a kafir. Hindus, of course, you call kafirs, we have no objections. You can call us whatever things you feel like. Given a faith system, actually we are not kafirs because we accept all faith systems. Your own Muslim other person who belongs to a different sect may be kafir really, much more than what we are, because we accept a faith system. We may even go to your places with you. We have no problem. We don't lose our dharma if you visit either a church or a mosque if with a friend of us. Sometimes we just follow rituals. It makes no difference to us because we know what we are and are confident what we are just by eating prasada from a temple. A Muslim might feel that this religion you will lose. We don't have such frail religious thoughts. By going to a church with a friend to attend a mass in a Catholic church, sit there for 1 hour, listen everything and come back, we lose nothing and we don't feel anything bad. We don't feel anything bad. That doesn't destroy my dharma, because my dharma is so rooted. I am so confident. Just by eating prasad from temple, you are afraid that you will lose your dharma, but I am not. This is the functional secularism with the Hindu Dharma. See, secularism is structural in Hindu Dharma and also functionally present. So don't forget that. Many things that you boast about, Sanskriti, culture, everything, is due to Hindu Dharma. Because of Hindu Dharma. And the Hindu Dharma preserves, protects, and transmits it to the generations, from generations to generations. So the importance of being a Hindu, though it is appears very, very, very not strong, lucid, but is very strong internally. No rigidity. No rigidity does not mean no strength. These are two different things. So I will conclude saying that let's be Hindus, either by way of Sanskriti or by way of Sanskriti and faith system. Because faith system, we are not rigid, because we already have multiple faith system. But ideally, let's all be Hindus in an archetypical sense of being with or in or internalizing Bharatiya Sanskriti. And again, I repeat, Bharatiya Sanskriti is based on a knowledge tradition, which is a Veda-Upanishadic knowledge tradition. We shall come again with a different discussion some other time. Till then, Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.